So, tell me about your family. Such a simple question, right? But for many English learners, this question suddenly feels really difficult. Brothers, sisters, in-laws, cousins, so many words, so much confusion. Today, we're making this topic completely simple.
Yes, by the end of this video, you'll be able to talk about your family and relationships with real confidence.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. I am Kate.
Hi everyone, I am Martin. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Before we start, if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel.
And if you enjoy today's video, please give it a like. It really helps us grow.
Also, comment below and tell us how many people are in your family.
We really want to know. Big family or small family, we'd love to hear about it.
So, Martin, today's topic is something everyone talks about eventually.
I know exactly what you mean. Talking about family and relationships.
This includes describing family members, relationship status, and introducing someone.
Such a practical, everyday topic. We use this vocabulary constantly.
Exactly, whether you're meeting new people or just having a normal conversation.
Family and relationships always come up naturally.
Right, and for many learners, this topic feels surprisingly tricky.
That's true. We get messages about this all the time.
People say, I know basic words like mother and father, but everything else confuses me.
Right. Words like in-laws, step-siblings, or distant relatives can feel overwhelming.
Exactly, and introducing someone properly also creates a lot of nervousness.
True. So today, we're breaking this whole topic down clearly and simply.
By the end, you'll feel completely comfortable talking about your family.
And introducing people in different types of relationships, too.
Let's start with the basics, immediate family members.
Great starting point. Let's go through these clearly.
Mother and father are probably the words everyone already knows.
Right, and casually, people often say mom and dad.
Exactly. Both are correct, just different levels of formality.
Brother and sister are next for siblings.
Right, and if you have more than one, you can say brothers or sisters.
For example, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Simple, clear sentence structure.
Son and daughter describe children from a parent's perspective.
For example, my son is 10 years old.
Or my daughter loves painting.
These are such foundational words for talking about family.
Absolutely. Now let's move to extended family members.
Yes, this is where things sometimes feel a little more complicated.
Right, let's break it down clearly, one relationship at a time.
Grandmother and grandfather describe your parents' parents.
Casually, people often say grandma and grandpa.
Right, warm, friendly terms used in everyday conversation.
Aunt and uncle describe your parents' siblings.
For example, my aunt lived in another city.
Or my uncle is visiting us this weekend.
Cousin describes the children of your aunts and uncles.
Right, and interestingly, English uses cousin for both male and female.
That's true. Unlike some other family words, this one doesn't change.
Exactly. Niece and nephew describe your siblings' children.
Niece for a girl, nephew for a boy.
For example, my niece just started school this year.
These extended family words cover most common relationships people talk about.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about something that often confuses learners, in-laws.
Oh yes, this is such a common area of confusion.
Right. In-laws describe family members through marriage.
For example, mother-in-law is your husband or wife's mother.
Father-in-law is your husband or wife's father.
Brother-in-law and sister-in-law work the same way too.
Right, either your spouse's siblings or your sibling's spouse.
That's such an important clarification.
Exactly. The simple pattern is add in-law after the family word.
This simple pattern makes it so much easier to remember.
Absolutely. Once you understand the pattern, all these words become simple.
Let's also talk about step-family relationships too, since these are common too.
Great point. Many families today include step-family members.
Right. Stepmother and stepfather describe a parent's new spouse.
Stepbrother and stepsister describe children from that new marriage.
For example, my stepsister lives with her mom during the week.
This vocabulary is really useful for describing modern family situations.
Absolutely. Family structures today are wonderfully diverse.
Exactly. Now let's move to relationship status vocabulary.
Yes, this is such an important part of today's topic, too.
Right, let's talk about how to describe your relationship status in English.
The most basic word is single, meaning not in a relationship.
For example, I'm single right now.
Simple, direct, and commonly used.
Next is dating, meaning you're seeing someone romantically, but maybe not officially serious yet.
For example, we've been dating for 2 months.
In a relationship is a more serious, committed stage.
For example, I've been in a relationship for a year.
Engaged means you've agreed to get married but haven't yet.
For example, we got engaged last summer.
Married means officially, legally married.
For example, I've been married for 5 years.
And divorced means a marriage has legally ended.
For example, my parents got divorced when I was young.
These words cover most common relationship situations.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about husband, wife, and partner.
Right, husband and wife describe married partners.
For example, my husband works as a teacher.
Partner is often used for someone in a serious relationship, married or not.
This word has become really common recently for various relationship types.
Exactly. It's a flexible, respectful word to use.
Boyfriend and girlfriend describe someone you're dating but not married to.
For example, this is my boyfriend, David.
These relationship words are honestly used in daily conversation constantly.
Absolutely essential vocabulary for everyday English.
Now, let's move to something really practical, introducing someone.
Yes, this is where all this vocabulary really comes together.
Right. Introducing family members or partners happens so often in real life.
Let's talk about the simple structure for introductions.
The basic pattern is, this is my relationship, name,
For example, this is my sister, Emma.
or this is my husband, Michael.
Simple, clear, and works for almost any relationship.
You can also add a little extra information if you'd like.
Right, for example, this is my brother, Tom. He's visiting from London.
Adding small details makes introductions feel warmer and more natural.
Absolutely. Let's talk about introducing yourself in relation to someone else, too.
Oh, this is such a useful skill as well.
Right, for example, I'm Sarah's cousin, or I'm David's colleague.
This helps people understand your connection immediately.
Exactly, especially useful at parties, weddings, or family gatherings.
Such practical, real-life vocabulary for social situations.
Absolutely. Now let's move to some practical learning tips.
Yes, let's help our viewers really master this topic.
Tip number 1. Create your own family tree using English words.
Right, write down your actual family members using the correct English terms.
This personalizes the vocabulary, making it much easier to remember.
Tip number 2, practice describing your family out loud.
For example, I have one brother and 2 sisters.
Or, my grandmother lives with my aunt and uncle.
Speaking these sentences out loud builds real confidence.
Tip number 3, practice introducing imaginary people.
Right, even if you're alone, practice saying, "This is my friend, Anna."
This prepares you for real introductions in the future.
Tip number 4. Learn the in-law and step patterns clearly.
Once you understand these patterns, so many new words become automatic.
Exactly. Patterns save so much time and confusion.
Tip number 5, don't feel embarrassed about your relationship status vocabulary.
Right, whether you're single, dating, married, or something else.
All of these are perfectly normal things to discuss in English.
Absolutely. There's no need for extra nervousness around this topic.
Tip number 6, listen for family vocabulary in movies and shows.
Right. Family conversations happen constantly in English media content.
This helps you hear these words used naturally in real context.
These tips together create a really strong foundation for this topic.
Absolutely. Now let's give some real practical examples our viewers can try today.
Yes, let's actually practice describing family and relationships together.
Let's start with a simple family description. I'll describe my family first.
Great idea. Go ahead, Kate.
I have a big family. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Nice. Continue, please.
My parents have been married for 30 years.
That's wonderful. What about extended family?
I have 4 cousins, and I'm really close with my aunt.
Perfect example, using several vocabulary words naturally together.
Now let's try an introduction example. Martin, introduce someone to me.
Sure. Kate, this is my sister Lisa. She's visiting from Canada.
Nice to meet you, Lisa.
See how naturally that introduction flowed?
Exactly. Simple structure, clear information, friendly tone.
Let's try one more introduction, this time introducing a partner.
Great idea. This is my boyfriend, James. We've been dating for 6 months.
Perfect example, combining introduction and relationship status together.
Let's try practicing relationship status descriptions now.
Sure, I'll go first. I'm currently single and honestly enjoying it.
Great, honest example. Your turn, Kate. I've been married for 3 years. My husband's name is Alex.
Wonderful example, clear and natural.
Let's try one more practice example, combining family and relationships together.
Perfect idea. My sister just got engaged to her boyfriend last month.
Great sentence, combining family vocabulary with relationship status.
Right. This shows how naturally these topics connect in real conversations.
Let's try one final challenge for our viewers watching today.
Great idea. Pause the video and describe 3 family members out loud.
Use their relationship to you and one small detail about each person.
For example, my mother is a nurse. My brother loves football.
This simple exercise builds real, practical speaking confidence.
Absolutely. Active practice always creates faster, stronger progress.
I really believe today's video gives our viewers such useful, everyday vocabulary.
Me too. Family and relationships come up constantly in real conversations.
Exactly. Whether meeting new people or simply chatting with friends.
Absolutely. This vocabulary truly is essential for daily English communication.
Let's also remind everyone family structures look different for everyone.
Right, that's such an important point to acknowledge clearly.
Whether big, small, traditional, or blended, every family is valuable.
Exactly. This vocabulary works for describing any type of family situation.
Absolutely. There's truly no wrong way to describe your own family.
I love how inclusive and practical this whole topic really is.
Absolutely. Real vocabulary for real, everyday conversations about the people we love.
Exactly. This topic connects language learning directly to personal, meaningful communication.
So, here's a question for all of you watching today.
Can you describe one family member using today's vocabulary?
Try writing a sentence about them in the comments below.
We would love to read about your families and relationships.
This is such a wonderful way to practice together as a community.
Absolutely. And if you introduce someone using today's structure, share that too.
We'd love to see your practice examples in the comments.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's video.
Let's do a quick recap before we finish.
First, we covered immediate family words like mother, father, brother, and sister.
Second, we covered extended family words like grandmother, aunt, uncle, and cousin.
Third, we explained in-law and step family patterns clearly.
Fourth, we covered relationship status vocabulary from single to married.
Fifth, we practiced the simple structure for introducing someone.
And finally, we practiced real, natural examples together.
This vocabulary truly is essential for everyday English conversations.
Absolutely. Family and relationships connect us all in every language.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.
And don't forget to subscribe for more English learning videos.
We upload new episodes regularly to help you speak more naturally every day.
Thank you so much for watching until the end.
We really appreciate your time and effort today.
We will see you in the next video.
Bye, everyone. Take care and give your family a hug today.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you very soon.